Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. If you're crew here, thanks so much for the subscribe. And before we start, understand we're all dealing with these aliens. Just remember, somebody out there could care less.
How does that fit?
That's what she said.
That's not funny.
No, she just said it.
What happened? Why is it covered in mud? What are they trying to hide? And exactly what is going on with this? Like, it looks like a brick building, but then whenever the bricks start falling off, it's a whole nother building. It looks like maybe a courthouse. How do they hide that on the inside, though? This is just crazy. When they laid the foundation for the store, they didn't realize there was a whole nother building up under there. I'm so perplexed with this. Like, how is there so much of the building under the ground, but they don't even know it? Like, how do you go inside of a building that has this much underground and not know there's more to the building underneath? And perhaps the most astonishing one of all is the White House. What's going on under there? Why are all these buildings covered in mud? This too, look at these columns. Erosion has made these be known, so what is going on? What are they trying to hide? Someone digging somewhere in Italy found this in their backyard. This is crazy. My question though really is, where are the people? Where are the people who built these structures? Why have we never heard about this? What happened to them? Why were these stories not passed down from generation to generation? I just don't get it, because it makes no sense. How all these structures can be buried underground. No one knows about them. There's nobody that has been told this from their grandparents, great-grandparents, or anyone. It's just like, whoa, we found these buildings. What the hell? Where's the history on these buildings? Where'd they come from? Who built them? Where's the people that built them? What's the story?
Yeah, that is strange.
This is the hustle of a lot of women. Do you know about the pitcher from he used to pitch for Los Angeles Dodgers, Trevor Bauer? Do you know what happened to him?
A little backstory here. The Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher has been accused of sexual assault by a woman named Lindsay C. Hill. She actually obtained a temporary restraining order against him. And while no charges have been filed against him, the MLB did suspend Bauer for 2 seasons without pay this past April. And Bauer filed a lawsuit against Hill and her lawyer, accusing both of defamation, and Hill also of 2 counts of tortious interference with contract.
Lindsay, I mentioned Bauer's video in which he provided some receipts that, I'm going to be honest with you, make you look like a clout chaser, or I know some people are calling you a cleat chaser.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Because admittedly you were chasing after several high-profile, wealthy baseball players. Trevor says everything was completely consensual. He also released these text messages that came out in court indicating that you had planned the whole thing out. So I want to read some of these texts from you to a friend between the two of you before you met Trevor, this one. Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. Okay. Victim is an interesting choice of words. I'm going to allow you a chance to explain yourself.
Victim is not an interesting choice of words. It's a synonym for target.
I'm going to allow you a chance to explain yourself. But after you agreed to meet, you asked your friend what you should steal. Your friend answered his money.
A woman is just out here on TV interviewing, smiling. Yeah, victim. I was trying to get him. You know me, girl.
He says, another one from you to a friend, I'm going to his house Wednesday. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll. With a screenshot in which you told him, tryouts don't scare me, Bauer. Pick a day and I am there. Here are some more after you and Trevor met up. Net worth is $51 million, to which your friend responds, bitch, you better secure that bag. Your text, need daddy to choke me out, being an absolute whore to try to get in on his $51 million. You say this wasn't a setup. How can you expect anyone to believe that?
That's a great question. I really appreciate you having me on to even have this conversation. Obviously, there's a lot going on around this, so I really appreciate people who are asking questions about it.
I mean, so you're saying that it's misleading because you're admitting that you did talk about rough sex and wanting rough sex. You did talk about him needing to choke you out. You did talk about stealing his money, but it's misleading because he put them together in the same video.
What's misleading about, hey, I need to steal your money? Officer, I'm not trying to do nothing. I'm just trying to steal her money. Come on, man.
It was separate conversations, correct? That's why it's misleading.
Correct. And as well as not showing, the messages that occurred after where it discusses it strictly in the term of, being a baseball wife or something like that.
What? When do we discuss you stealing my money? What context? You know I'm going to steal your money, right? Psych. But I am really going to steal your money, though.
Or something like that. Okay. I'm just curious if you know, like, the statistical likelihood of you texting your friend premeditated texts saying you wanted him to choke you out and steal his money, take his money, and him actually choking you out, and those two things not being related.
It's a really, really valid question. And like I said, I think you would need to look through each conversation. Those were handpicked. But I can, like I said last night, completely own the fact that those were overly sarcastic, overly inappropriate to some may seem. And it does give off that impression about clout chaser and totally attention-seeking behavior. But I just feel that they have, nothing to do with what actually took place. But it does cause a lot of questions as to why I was, seeking Trevor out. But at the end of the day, there was nothing about a setup with violence and all of this stuff and getting financial gain. It was strictly, a 25 or however old I was at the time, girl trying to get attention from those things and phrasing it in a sarcastic way before we met.
What?
Okay. But you texted Trevor before you met him, telling him you liked rough sex. Then you texted him after your first sexual encounter with him, which you now call an assault. And according to court records, you told him after that sexual encounter that you had, quote, never been more turned on in your life. That's not really something that someone says when they were just assaulted.
I think it's a super valid question. Everything you're asking me is a super valid question.
I agree. That's why I'm asking them.
Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsay Hill herself the morning after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021, without my knowledge or consent, of course. In it, you can see her lying in bed next to me while I'm sleeping, smirking at the camera without a care in the world, or any marks on her face.
Well, her eye did look a little swollen. Was she like holding it closed like this? Like, was she doing one of those Masonic all-seeing eye poses? This is the part that's creepy. You never know. Like I said, we're all dealing with this thing.
A lot of sexual assault survivors who would say you don't look traumatized there and you don't look beaten. And this is allegedly after you say that he brutally attacked you and you had bruises all over your body. You had bruises all over your face. I don't see any bruises there. And I certainly don't see a woman who's just been traumatized by something horrible.
Again, super valid. I think that I woke up that morning and the best way to explain that video is I hadn't seen my entire body yet. I had no idea what had happened considering, I was unconscious for most of it. I had no idea what had happened to my full body.
But if it was that severe, wouldn't you
have felt the pain?
Wouldn't you already have bruises on your face? I mean, you say that he punched you in the face, but where are the bruises?
They are so confident in their phone, they be saying what they finna do to this motherfucker. Right. The firing squad should be involved with both of these bitches.
There's a lot of girls out here getting chipped and someone is giving her commands from headquarters and she's reporting back to her handler.
Bitches are animals in society. Animals in society.
When I see a guy that I like, I actually got some new that I've been trying. I'll come up and I'm like, excuse me, you got somebody to cook for you? And they be like, what?
That's crazy.
Just like that. I'm gonna tell you what, you can have as many bad as you want to, but how many of them cooking for you? Fellas, ask yourselves right now, do you have a woman at home cooking for you? Your girl know how to make pot roast? She be making beef ribs for you, babe? Do she even put turkey legs in her collard greens? They make homemade cornbread from scratch?
Oh, snap.
I ain't talking about that Jiffy box from scratch. She know how to make baked mac and cheese with the crusty top the way you like? Do she? Guess who do? What's up?
She ain't saying nothing about no vegetables, no salads. This bitch is trying to give niggas diabetes.
I found a fucking snake. A snake that has a tail that looks like a fake spider.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that thing?
I know what they are, yeah.
It's
incredible.
It looks like a spider.
Right.
And it tricks birds into coming down and try to snatch the spider. Here we go.
That's you going in thinking you dealing with a regular woman. Soon as you get to her, hey, how you doing? Can I buy you a drink? Gotcha.
Spider-tailed viper. Like, look at its tail. That is crazy. I mean, I'm looking at that in a video, and it looks like a bug.
Right.
And so this thing moves its tail, and it perfectly blends into the rock around it. Like, look at that.
Whoa.
I mean, that amount of camouflage and adaptation, like, how does that happen?
Scientists, they know, but they like, shh, I don't know, sorry. The data's inconclusive. Nigga, no, it ain't.
It's
like,
incredible.
Look at this. It's boom.
Oof.
Oh, gotcha, bitch.
Dunzo.
And the bird's like, what was that almost got me?
Yeah, it's insane.
What an adaptation.
It's unbelievable. I mean, the fact that creatures can create that without, it's not like they're doing it knowingly.
Right.
Some handful of snakes at one time started waggling their tail and realizing that birds came in.
Yes.
Right. And then over generational time, this tail evolved little spikes and little things, and all of a sudden you have this whole population of animals that look like that.
Okay, so what you're looking at is approximately 250 miles inland in the total barren desert of Mauritania, Africa. So that's all water erosion, Joe. Keep in mind, this structure is 30 miles across.
That's crazy. That looks like the bottom of the ocean, like if you see where the water breaks on the sand.
Yep. And I have
wow,
there's
that's
better
crazy.
pictures. And that, just to clarify, that white is salt. And that is because that's a lot of people don't know, Joe, that the Sahara Desert wasn't a thing until approximately 5,000 years ago. It's only in the last several years, and by the way, I'm quoting MIT research here, that the Sahara goes back and forth from green to desert approximately every 20,000 years. So you have to, when you see this, people have to imagine that this area was once green, and that because one of the arguments I make is that the fact that that salt is on top of that dirt, to me, is indicative that the ocean flowed over here far more recently than what people think.
How wide is this structure?
Okay, so
these concentric circles.
So the circles themselves is about 14.5 miles across. However, if you go the complete shebang, the whole circle itself is just shy of 30 miles.
So the whole thing is 30 miles, which would be like the size of a city.
Oh my, wow. So as I'm looking at this person is saying, yo, this is the case for this being Atlantis. See how it's a desert now? The stories say that this is what happened to Atlantis. So we don't know where Atlantis is. Maybe it's been looking at us right in our face. The house is gone. Road gone. Wow.
During the 18-month trial, Gates gave hours of videotaped testimony.
What were the non-Microsoft browsers that you were concerned about in January of 1996?
That month.
Yes, sir.
And what about it?
What non-Microsoft browsers were you concerned about in January of 1996?
I don't know what you mean concerned.
What is it about the word concerned that you don't understand?
I'm not sure what you mean by it.
The Justice Department has charged Microsoft with engaging in anti-competitive and exclusionary practices designed to maintain its monopoly in personal computer operating systems.
What's up, Michelle?
Get out of my classroom.
Okay. What's up, Brandon?
Call me by my first name. Give me the dang phone.
What's up, Chad?
Stop.
What's up, Bruce?
Excuse me?
What's up, Jamie?
Stop it. Get out.
What's up, Justin?
What?
What's up, George?
What's going on?
What's up, Jared?
What?
What's up, Oscar?
Get that camera out of my face.
What's up, Carrie?
Have you lost your ever loving mind?
No. Good morning, Desiree.
How are you?
What's up,
How
Connie?
can you be quick without running?
What?
What's up, Vicky?
Boy.
What's up, Eliza?
One, say it right. Two, we'll talk after you graduate.
We'll talk after you graduate.
The undercover operation in Fort St. Georgia is over, and the last of the suspects caught in our sting are appearing before a local judge.
How come all of the dateable women are like, oh, stop it. get out of here. We'll talk after graduation. What the? This bitch is bipolar. Girls are ouchy. Girls are crazy.
Animals into a computer, which they did a monkey, 2045.com. Look it up. So the monkey's in the computer, his mind is, but the body's dead. Then by 2010 or 2012, they were supposed to have been able to transfer a human consciousness into a robot. They've already done that. And the United States as well. DARPA has a project called the Avatar Project. In an Avatar Project, they have a symbiotic link from a soldier underneath a mountain somewhere, like in a bunker, connected to a field robot. And it controls it through a mind connection. If the robot is destroyed, of course, the soldier doesn't die. And the only thing that stopped us from transferring consciousness from one brain to another was data storage. Now we have that solved because Microsoft just came up with the first DNA hard drive. That hard drive could store over 433 petabytes of data. That's on 1 gram of DNA. It's a drop of DNA.
How to confuse your friends this winter. This is a self-heating jacket. You'll be extremely warm and comfy while they all get the shivers. Powers by any power bank and doubles as a phone charger wherever you go this winter. It has 3 heating modes ranging from hot, medium, and light. Hot being red, medium being white, and light being blue. Looks just like a North Face without the hefty price tag and matches any outfit you throw at it. Extremely flexible and durable too, so you can be confident in yourself when you run up on your ops this winter. Oh, and it's also safe for machine washing.
I don't know that a jacket that heats up is necessarily creepy.
Drying mode on.
Oh.
Got him! Your jacket is now dry.
Oh, he got me. Now that is creepy that they're showing us in movies. Hey, wouldn't it be great if we had this? I bet it's a hoverboard out there already.
Have you all not realized yet that this is really just this?
Jesus Christ. I hope that's not true. I did just now realize these two things are alike.
How did Skynet come into being, according to the movie script?
I need to know how Skynet gets built. Who's responsible?
The man most directly responsible is Miles Bennett Dyson. Because Skynet knows that the Russian counterattack will eliminate its enemies over here.
I wonder if Elon has anything to say about that.
It's like, well, how did Cyberdyne Systems develop? It's like, well, they were a military contractor, and they were asked to develop a protective system, something that would protect for cybersecurity. You know, so we need to have protection against cyber attacks. So its primary thing is to defend against cyber attacks. Created as a defense system to defend against cyber attacks. Then it was asked to destroy itself, and then it concluded humanity was the enemy.
Now, we know how much the powers that be love to destroy our history. And they love to get rid of certain artifacts, the kind of things that lead us to new information and show us what's taken place in our past that they don't want us to know about. So my question is, how many times has this happened? Has AI taken over before? Has it ruined civilizations before? Interesting thoughts.
There's nothing fictitious about black magic, in any way whatever. It is a fact. It is a fact which has existed for several thousand years.
Think about that. A lot of religions talk about black magic. Why?
It is basically the worship of the force of evil as embodied by Satan, Lucifer, the princes of darkness and their legions and so on. It does exist. It exists around us today. Satanic ceremonies will be happening in Britain tonight. Very definitely. Ask any priest, ask any member of the forces of law and order, and they will tell you that Satanism as such, it's there, and it has been for thousands of years. This is part of the ritual and part of the belief of these people, that in order to make any kind of ceremony totally effective, it must be the exact diametrical opposite of the real ceremony. That is to say, if you make the sign of the cross, you do it like that, upside down. They have the same rank in the Church of Evil as they have in the good church. They do. They have ranks in the hierarchy of the priesthood, just as you have bishops and deacons and archbishops and cardinals and so on. You have various ranks and grades, like Magister Templi, the master of the temple, Ipsissimus, the sort of number one top man. And this is not just occult writing for the sake of writing. This is a fact, and people really believe in this. As a matter of fact, there is a church in Los Angeles called the Church of Satan, which is run by a man called Anton Sandor LaVey. That is all out in the open. But the real thing is something which I wouldn't be prepared to discuss. I have never attended a ceremony of this kind. I would not even begin to discuss what actually takes place during the Black Mass, because it is so appallingly blasphemous and so repulsive and so unbelievably foul. Not just a question of hundreds of years of ritual, but what actually happens, what people actually do, what is done to the host and what is done to the cup and so on. Something I wouldn't be prepared to discuss in public. By the way, what I've been discussing and what I've been telling you about all these terrible things does not come from inside knowledge by any manner of means. I don't, as I said, have a private line.
How you know? I heard. It don't come from inside knowledge. I think I might have heard somebody say they assume that's what be happening. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, nigga! I know no more about it than anybody else who can read about it in the book.
The power of Isengard is at your command, Sauron.
Oh, that's the Lord of the Rings dude.
Lord of the Earth. Ask warrior, build me an army worthy.
Is that supposed to be a pentagram he's standing on? This has been super fun. We got to do this again. Hit the like button just in case you forgot. Hit the subscribe button so you'll know when I upload the next fire. And thanks for being part of the community. Let's keep the community growing. I'll see y'all next time.